introduced by Carwick 1969. Carwick is the research-linked college professor of organizational behavior and psychology, professor of organizational behavior and human resources management, professor of psychology at the University of Michigan. In Wick's first book, The Social Psychology of Organizational, he presents historical approach explaining how organizational make sense of and use information, and state that organization and their environment change so rapidly that is unrealistic to show what they are like now, and because that not the way they are going to be later. And then we introduced the first approach to the explanation of how organization interpret and use the information in the book is titled The Social Psychology of Organization in 1969. Then he again developed this theory in 1995. The focus of the organization information theory is on the communication of information that is very important in determining the success of an organization. To better understand this process, we will discuss two theoretical perspectives that influence the organization information theory. First, general system theory is particularly useful in understanding the interrelationship that exists between the various organization units. Organization that regularly consists of various departments, team or group. Although this unit focus on independent tasks, overall organizational goal usually need unification and sharing of information that each has to arrive at solution or conclusion. And for the second perspective that has been used to explain the theory by the organization that gather information is by using social culture evolution theory by Darwin. And Darwin described the vision in terms of organism change that allowed them to manage with various environments.
Assumption of the organization information theory. Carwick has stated that the assumption for this theory is divided into three main aspects. The first assumption in this theory is human organization exists in an information environment. An organization relies on information in order any work within the organization can run smoothly in order to achieve their organization goal. The second assumption for organizational information theory is the information in organization received different in terms of equivocality. This assumption is more focused on the ambiguous in the information presented according to the opinion or perception of member in the organization. In this assumption, any information that received within an organization has different meaning according to each member in the organization. The third assumption for this theory is human organization engage in information processing to reduce equivocality. Every human being within the organization is directly involved in the organization process, such as sender and receiving information in organization.
Based on the theory organizational information, we can relay it in our daily life. For example, our group choose to relay it in conflict management, which is it's hard to find two parties share the same exact interest. Thus, conflict and cooperation coexist with each other within the organization. Institutional conflict management is often used by managers to create sustainable organization. So, for example, workers and foremen reduce ambiguity by adding interpretation, while managers propose specific action steps. This way, individuals interpret and process this ambiguity is a key to understand on how an organization makes sense of their activities.
The interest of informational communication theory. Communication is important to connect communication group in the communicate with each other. The advantage and important this theory is that it can be seen from the aspect of useful is so obvious that is informational communication theory more emphasis on the process of communication rather than aspect of the role played by the person giving notice itself. Witnesses content in information communication theory. Focus witness content in the theory of informational communication is the delivery of informational communication sometimes not clear with the notice submitted by other parties then the smooth decision in the organization will.
As a conclusion, we know that organizational information theory is one theory that tells us about how a complex theoretical framework which is focused on how an organization adopts the information which is fundamental for them to sustain. It also makes us think critically on how it can be applied and the limitation in our real life. Next, it is to reduce ambiguity so that only receive important information does not include the advantage. Organizational communication should lead people on how to understanding of clearly goals to achieve that goal set by the leader.